nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
All right, so in the spirit of October and Halloween, I decided to make a video about how to actually make a demon voice, and then finally how to create a scene around that demon voice so that it sounds like it came from a scene from a movie or something like that. All right, so I've recorded my demon voice. Obviously no effects or anything. It sounds quite ridiculous at the moment, but it's gonna turn into something awesome. So first things first, we need to create a multi-track so that we can begin layering the voice and adding everything that I'm gonna be adding. So let's go up here, make a multi-track session, and then I'm just going to title it Demon Voice and location AAVO. That's just a folder I created for my Adobe Audition voiceovers. You should always create a folder so you know exactly where all of your recordings go. Sample rate 48,000, bit depth 24, mix stereo. Now, normally, you want a voiceover in mono, but I will actually be taking, I think, 2 of the voices and splitting them into a stereo file and separating them a little bit, panning them a little left and right. But you're almost always going to want your music bed and your sound effects to be panned left and right in stereo, while your voiceover stays in mono so it can go right down the middle. So I'm going to create a mix in stereo and click OK. And yes, I've already done this before, so yeah, I want to override it. All right, so now we have our multi-track session, but I want to go ahead and organize some things and name my tracks and stuff like that so that we can start a little more organized and not get flustered as we go along. So I'm going to kind of fast forward through this so you guys don't have to wait for me to label every single track. All right, so now that I have all of my tracks labeled, I will be adding a couple more voiceover tracks as we go, but let's go ahead and bring in the main voiceover and start messing with it a little bit. All right, I'm gonna make this a little bigger so we can see it a little better. And now this is going to be my bass line. Okay, this right here will be my bass line. I'm not gonna add, well, I will add a little bit of effects in the end to this, but it's gonna start with no effects. But what I am going to do is I'm gonna go ahead, this is my main voice left. So I'm gonna go ahead and pan this left 50%. That's close enough. And then I'm gonna actually go ahead and duplicate this track. I'm holding Alt and just pulling it down. And I'm going to shift this 50% right. And I really need glasses. Anyway, okay, so now that we've got our main voices split both directions, I need to duplicate these tracks a couple of times so that I can add the other layered voices that's gonna create ultimately the demon voice that I'm trying to create here. So I'm just gonna go up to multi-track, go to tracks, and then I'm going to add mono audio track. And I'm just gonna do this a couple times, add mono track. Add mono track. So here we go. We're starting to work here. All right, so now I'm actually going to label these. So again, I'll kind of fast forward through this. All right, so now that we've labeled these, we also need to bring them down. So again, I'm going to hold Alt and bring that down and just keep doing that. Alt, bring it down. Alt, bring it down. Okay, so now we can begin to actually start affecting our voiceover. So first things first, I want to add pitch correction to the last 3 that I just added. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go to the first slot here, and I'm going to go all the way down to time and pitch, and I'm going to go to pitch shift. Okay, now that's good, but I want to add them to the other. So again, I'm going to hold Alt, and I'm going to bring it down to this one, and I'm going to just keep doing, whoops, I don't mean to do that, but I'm just going to keep doing the same thing, Alt, and then letting it go. Okay, so this one is going to be my super, super low one. And we actually haven't even heard these tracks yet. So let's just go ahead and hear what these tracks sound like. This is the main, naked, no processing. Sounds quite ridiculous. So here's what it sounds like.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
Oh yeah, okay, sounds very corny and quite ridiculous, but it's gonna end up sounding great. So I'm gonna go ahead and unsolo these so that they were the only ones playing. But actually, first thing I wanna do is go down to the main channel, and I'm gonna add a hard limiter, because I just wanna make sure that absolutely nothing in here is going to clip as I go through, and I'm gonna make that just -1, and we're good to go. Now, what I actually like to do is sometimes add this limiter to every single track just as a safety net. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And again, I'm gonna fast forward for your convenience. All right, so now that we've added a hard limiter to every single track, we can feel confident that we're not gonna clip our audio. It's just a nice safety net to have. But first things first, I need to start pitch correcting for the tracks that I actually wanna pitch down and up. So first things first, I'm gonna go to this first pitch shifter, and I'm gonna take this one all the way down, which seems quite aggressive, and it is, but I really, really want that guttural bass sound to be mixed in with this demon voice. So this is what this sounds like, okay? So here we go. I'm going to solo this so you can hear this.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
Okay, awesome. Now I'm going to come back to this because right now it's so low that it's actually kind of hard to distinguish what's being said. And I want to make sure that it's a little more clear. So I'll probably add some distortion here in a minute, but I'm going to go to unsolo this, go to the next track that I've named low. See, this one was named really low and this was just low. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to pitch this down 4. So I'm going to do -4 tones. Okay, so here we go, or semitones. There we go. All right, and this is what that one sounds like. All right, just down 4. So here we go.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
All right, now that sounds pretty neat. A lot of people might even be happy there and be like, okay, I'm good to go. But we want to layer everything. We really want it to sound demonic, all right? So here we go. The next one, I'm actually going to pitch shift up just a little bit. I'm only going to go 2 though. I don't really care for the pitch shifting too far up because it sounds just not as menacing. So this is going to be more so a little in the background because this is what this sounds like.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming.
Right? I'm turning into an elf. Just a little bit, you know? All right. So now that I've pitch shifted everything, I do need to adjust the volume for certain tracks, all right? So this is what it sounds like right now without me adjusting any of the volume. Let's see what it sounds like.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
All right, to my ears, that just sounds like a jumbled mess, okay? I mean, yeah, you can start to hear what's going to be the demon voice eventually, but to my ears, that just sounds like a muddy, jumbled mess, and I need to start separating things, okay? So let's begin to do that. First thing I want to do is I want to go to my super low track right here, and because it's so incredibly low, it's kind of hard to distinguish what's being said, and so what I'm going to do to kind of help with that is I'm going to add a distortion track. So I'm going to go here, go to distortion, and I'm just going to add a little bit. I'm not going to add a ton. So I'm going to solo this, and we're just going to add a little bit of distortion. So here we go.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
And it doesn't help a ton with distinguishing everything, but it's going to help in the overall scheme of things. And also what I'm going to do, I added the distortion, but now I'm actually going to turn this down a little bit, okay? Because I don't want it to be overpowering, but I do want it to be heard. I want it to be there. It's almost one of those things where like you almost don't even realize it's there, but if you took it away, all of a sudden something would feel empty. You'd be like, oh, there definitely was something there. I just didn't realize it. So here we go.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming.
All right, slightly better, but let's just keep going down the same bit. Okay, so for right here, this, you remember what I said earlier, I don't really care for the high shift that much. It does need to be there, but I'm actually going to turn it down just a tiny bit. Okay, I'm just going to turn it down a little bit, and let's see what that sounds like.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
Okay, we're slowly getting where we need to go. But now something I want to do is I actually want to add a chorus effect to both of my main tracks that are panned left and right. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to grab a chorus effect. And I actually really like a preset here, just 5 voices. It sounds really menacing. I really enjoy that one. So let me pull this one down to the other track. And let's give this a listen by itself. It already sounds really cool with that preset, so check it out.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place.
It sounds pretty full. Okay, and I like that, okay? So now, let's see how everything sounds together. Here we go.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
All right, and that sounds pretty darn good. So, you know what I actually want to do? I might actually want to add a chorus to this higher pitch one, okay? And let's see what that sounds like. Let's see if we want to do that. Where are we at? Modulation, chorus. And again, let's just do the 5 voices. It sounds really good. Let's see what that sounds like.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming.
And you know what? I might even want to add a little bit of distortion to this one. So let's do that.
Leave this place or join me forever.
Yeah, I'm actually really liking that. So now let's see how everything sounds together. So here we go.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
Awesome. Okay, that sounds great to me. So in part 2, I'm going to show you guys how to add the music bed and mix it together with the voice, and then how to add the sound effects and make everything sound like an actual scene from a movie or something like that. So I hope to catch you in part 2. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.